The Itsutsu-no-Kata were established in 1887 by the founder of Kodokan Judo, Master Jigoro Kano. They form the basis of Kodokan Judo. Inspired by the forms found in nature, he strived to come up with a way of expressing natural forces through Judo. The result is the Itsutsu-no-Kata. There are no names for the 5 Itsutsu-no-Kata, but together they encompass all the fundamental principles of Judo, applying the theoretical basis of attack and defense to natural phenomena. In that sense, they can also be appreciated from an artistic point of view. Let's begin by taking a look at a demonstration of the Itsutsu-no-Kata. The first one expresses the principle that a weak force can control a greater force with ease through the carrying out of a logical and continuous attack. The second shows the principle of a greater power being controlled by the utilization of that force. The third expresses the principle that the center of a whirlpool can engulf its outer rim. Even if you find yourself being dragged around in a circle by someone much larger than you, it's possible to throw him by taking control of the center of the circle. The fourth one expresses the principle of the tide beating upon the shore, engulfing everything as it flows in and out. The fifth demonstrates the principle of nothing ventured, nothing gained. In other words, when confronted by a huge force, it's sometimes better to throw yourself right into it. Let's look at the opening motions. The tori and uke stand side by side in the center of the dojo, facing the front. The tori is on the left and the uke on the right. Together they perform a standing bow towards the front and turn to face each other and bow. They then step forward simultaneously with their left foot and assume shizen hontai, basic natural posture. The first one. The uke falls straight back in what's known as jizo daore. The idea is to fall back without lifting one's legs, as if one had turned to stone, or more specifically, a stone image of the guardian deity of children known as Jizo. The uke does not retreat voluntarily, but is pushed back by the tori. The uke steps back with his left, then right, and continues to retreat with small steps until he falls straight back. The tori raises his palm, fingers wide apart, and presses it against the center of the uke's chest. He then pushes the uke back by alternately pushing with the thumb side and the little finger side of his hand. The tori pushes the uke back by alternately pushing with the thumb and the little finger. Note the tori's posture as he pushes the uke back and the uke's ukemi. The tori assumes a stable position by lowering his hips, while the uke falls straight back in jizo daore without raising his legs. This is a bad example. The tori is leaning forward and the uke's legs are lifted high. Moving on to the second. This expresses the principle that the greater strength of one's opponent can be used to control him. After finishing the first one, the uke attempts to strike the tori in mid-abdomen, using his right hand like a knife. The tori turns his body outward and grabs the uke's wrist from the side and pulls him off balance with both hands. The uke falls sideways, pivoting on the ball of his right foot. The uke should aim for the tori's mid-abdomen when using his right hand like a knife to strike. The tori evades the attack and grabs the uke's wrist from the side. He then drops on his left knee and pulls the uke off balance. Let's look at it again. As the uke rises, the tori steps back with his right foot and assumes shizen hontai. He evades the uke's attack by turning his body out to the left and places his right palm on the inside of the uke's elbow, following the course of the uke's attack to pull and break his balance, while simultaneously dropping on his front knee. Continuing on to the third one. The third expresses the principle that the center of a whirlpool can engulf the outer rim. The uke rises on his left knee, after which he and the tori stand, rising both arms to the side. They circle around each other to the left in smaller and smaller circles like a whirlpool until their arms cross. The tori then falls back to throw the uke towards the center right corner. Tori breaks the uke's balance towards the right corner and slips both feet past the uke's right foot to throw the uke over him. Making sure that their arms do not fall below the shoulders, they allow their arms to cross, pushing up with the right and pressing down with the left. The uke flies diagonally over the tori's body and rolls forward to stand in shizen hontai. Moving on from the third to the fourth. The fourth demonstrates the principle of the tide beating upon the shore, engulfing everything as it flows in and out. With his eyes fixed on the uke, the tori steps back with his left foot and crouches. Swinging his arms, he runs faster and faster towards the uke. After running a meter past him, the tori raises his arms high and stretches up. After taking a breath, he takes a couple of steps back and presses his right elbow against the uke's chest to break his balance. The uke takes several small steps back and tries to regain his balance, but he falls backwards and performs ukemi. The tori increases the pressure against the uke's chest as he steps back. The moment the uke loses balance, the tori drops to his left knee to make the uke fall backwards. Watch the tori's feet. He stands on the balls of his feet and stretches up. The tori runs faster and faster towards the uke and passes him. This is a bad example in which the tori changes his course abruptly. Compare the bad example showing the tori's abrupt course to the proper way on the right. Going from the fourth to the fifth. The fifth expresses the principle of nothing ventured, nothing gained. In other words, when confronted by a huge force, it's sometimes better to throw yourself right into it. The tori and uke stand in opposite corners with their backs to each other. They raise their arms to the side as if to embrace a huge ball with migi jigotai. Pivoting to face each other, they run forward. Just before they're about to collide, the tori drops to his side in stemi, forcing the uke to flip over him to do a forward roll and stand. Note the movement of the tori's feet and the way he drops to his side in stemi. The tori slides his feet in front alongside the uke's right foot. First the left foot, then the right. Twisting his body to the left, he drops to his side in stemi, both hands on his stomach. There is no break in the tori's motion as he runs faster and faster toward the uke, dropping to his side in stemi just before colliding. The hips are too low, so the posture is bad. They should not bring their feet together before running. The placement of the uke's hands is bad. The uke is supposed to flip diagonally across the tori. Let's see it being done correctly again. And again in slow motion. The tori and uke raise their arms to their sides in preparation for the attack. When it feels right, they pivot on their left foot and twist round so that they face each other. Without pausing, they run towards each other. Just before colliding, the tori drops to his side, forcing the uke to flip over him and fall. This one expresses the principle of nothing ventured, nothing gained. After finishing the fifth, they both return to their starting positions and together they step back with their right foot, then left, to stand up straight and perform a standing bow. They then turn towards the front and end with a standing bow. Although there are only 5 Itsutsu-no-Kata, they eloquently express the fundamental principles of attack and defense. The movements of the tori and uke as they try to gain control of each other transcend the mere demonstration of attack and defense and can be appreciated as a form of art. The movements may seem simple, but the profundity of the underlying principles make them very difficult to perform properly. When practicing, the tori and uke need to breathe as one and move smoothly, keeping in mind the significance of each and every movement. Mastering the Itsutsu-no-Kata is essential for those who wish to strive for the ultimate goal in judo, that of fostering spiritual and physical strength in order to become a better person.